Good evening and welcome to Slam the Gavel, the show that tells it all regarding family court, criminal court, and other court issues, as well as CPS. I am your host, Maryann Petri. You can find me, my books, and blogs on dismantlingfamilycourtcorruption.com, and they are an audio as well. I have a brand new guest on. I have Tanith Pereira on. She's from Manhattan in New York. Now, she's a mom, she's a nursing assistant, she's a swim coach instructor, and she works for the Board of Education, teaches students, and she was also an EMT during 9/11. Now, her case is in limbo without conclusion, had been going on for 2 years. She has not seen her son. The only time she gets to see him is 1 hour every other week at a supermarket, at the Whole Foods. And I'm so sorry, Tanith. I welcome you on to Slam the Gavel. Tell me, how do you see this going? You're in limbo.
Um, so this case actually has been going on for 5 years.
Okay.
All right. I don't know at this point. Both sides have requested for a conclusion, a final judgment. Um, and the judge has not, Katz has not stated anything, even given an answer of when this would be done. Uh, he literally only allows his uh his assistant state state to do a order show cause,
Mhm.
otherwise, and hasn't said anything to anybody about when he and if he's going to even do it. At this point, my son is 16 going on 17, and this is not in best interest of him. It's not in
Mm-mm.
best interest of anybody in this case. This is causing everybody to be in limbo. It is not helping my child in whatsoever. Um, Throughout this case, my ex has um, violated court orders from anywhere from visitation to uh, allowing my son to read court files. Um, he used the system to try to basically harass me during the whole case, anywhere from like 4 to 6 times calling ACS or using police to do security checks at locations where I was staying because during COVID, um, he literally kicked me and the children out on the street. He had his family do it. Um, and I mean, at the height of COVID, when we didn't know what it consisted of, we didn't know who was exposed, what was going on, or if, if this virus could basically kill you. This, the family court was the original case that I had to start because me and my ex had split. Um, One of the last things he did was he tried to, well, he did post me on the internet um, with him on a swingers website.
Oh,
And that was the last time.
uh-huh.
I do not come from a family that we believe in that kind of behavior.
Right.
Um, we're not alternative lifestyles. I'm not. I I may wear a bathing suit on beach,
Mhm.
but he posted me in my underwear.
Mhm.
He blurred my face, so I tried to go to the police for it, and they said I couldn't do anything because my face was blurred. But I
Oh,
had been on it for 6 months, and I knew there were like almost 70 people who had requested
wow.
to participate in this. So
Wow.
I told him I told him that we were over and I couldn't deal with it anymore. That it was done.
Mhm.
I was finished. I was like, there was no respect. At the time, my father was dying of prostate cancer.
Oh.
Um, and so did his family. My mom had just had a stroke too, so I was dealing with that. Um, he was at that point, he also did not pay the rent for approximately 6 months and had no excuse. So I was working at the time extra hours to try to pay back rent,
Mm.
so that we wouldn't be evicted.
How would when you met your um ex, were there any red flags that you could pick up now from when looking back?
There was a lot of gaslighting. There was a lot of show. I don't even know what to call it. Basically, he was trying to be who I wanted him to be. Um, I we got together very young.
Hmm.
I was 18.
Hmm.
We have one child together. That's my daughter,
Hmm.
who is now 23. Um, she he changed after I had my child. So it went from buying me flowers, going out to dinner, spending time,
Hmm.
poetry. He even drew a picture of me. He went in, we were writing stories together, we would work out together. Um, to After my daughter was born, all of a sudden, while I was pregnant, he started changing.
Hmm.
I felt like it was a 360. It became um, where he started basically saying he was confused and um, basically started talking to other people, his exes, and we would argue and we would get into fights.
How many
And
exes did he have?
um, I don't know. At the time, I don't know. I know he was talking to one
Hmm.
while I was pregnant, and I did confront her. We sat down and had coffee and talked about it.
Hmm.
Um, he pursued her,
Hmm.
and she did not know I was pregnant. She did not know. She didn't know of me until after,
Hmm.
and only because I got there, like I had went to her.
Hmm.
Um, we ended up staying together because, like, at that point when I was pregnant, we were living together.
Hmm.
We were living together with his family. We had been together, I was 23. So I I was in college. I was studying to become a physician's assistant at the time. Obviously, I didn't make it there.
Well,
um,
you're
there,
still young.
I I had agreed to quit school while I was pregnant to take turns, which never came about while I was with him.
Hmm.
Um, Not because of my own merits, because I ended up just taking care of the children. So
Hmm.
it became where, uh, over time, so where he went to school, finished, almost finished, I should say. I helped pay for it. Um, and he didn't pass by 10 credits.
Oh.
And then he refused to take a job with his what he was studying too, and stayed um at a I don't know if the company exists or anymore. But he basically was somebody who was working in a kitchen making sandwiches.
Oh, man.
Um, uh, as time went on, I had forgiven him for that. What because I was sorry. I'm very close with my father.
Mhm.
He has passed now, so it's a little sensitive.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I wanted my daughter to have her father in her life.
Mhm.
So it was an internal struggle.
Right,
Uh,
right.
um, and we were together, and uh, we would end up breaking up on and off throughout this for years
Mhm.
because there was a constant finding him talking to other people
Mm. Mm.
and um, me struggling to try to work so I could also take care of my daughter.
Mm.
And it became where I started not liking myself because when you start to feel like you have to watch somebody all the time, you start losing yourself.
Mhm.
So I got tired of asking who he was talking to or finding emails or messages from other women,
Mhm.
or him going out. And I would find out later that it was with other girls, or he would use his cousins or his guy friends. Um, Eventually, I gave up,
Mm.
and I felt lonely. And um, my my family and his family did not get along.
Mm.
Um, so there was a lot of bickering back and forth. Um, his family accepted cheating. His father has two sons in Mexico by his first, I don't know, I guess his first partner.
Mhm.
And then he left her for his mother.
Mm.
And they have seven kids together. But when I first started visiting, I got to hear how his father brought over a lover and introduced them to his children. And the woman was giving them candy. They were really small,
Mm.
and the mom freaked out. And how they also used to joke about how his grandfather had two families with um, children on his um, mother's side. So they had different mothers, and he would go back and forth between them.
Oh.
And his father's side, his father and one of his brothers, and then were two illegitimate children, and they were married to different people,
Mm.
and they had 11 kids each, so 22 in total.
Oh.
So this is a constant, um, basically a constant thing in their
Mhm.
life. Um, my parents, I was raised here in New York.
Mhm.
Um, my parents, they had eight kids. They were together 56 years.
Mhm.
Only them.
Right, right.
We're all from the same parents. Um, at
Mhm.
different times. I'm biracial.
Mhm.
Um, uh, a DAR, which is a Daughter of American Revolution.
Mhm.
My grandmother actually helped sew the stars. She's on. in the book on Ellis Island.
Huh.
Um, and my father uh, was St. Lucian and American white. I was raised that you're supposed to try to find a family and get married. Traditional. Um, I'm very well rounded. They believed in us getting education, music, cook, clean, basic function. They believed that you had to be a whole yourself,
Hmm.
and then find a partner. I started working for the parks department when I was 16 as a lifeguard. I worked there for 20 years.
Wow. That's
Um,
awesome.
and so I was an assistant lieutenant at one point. So I was an EMT for a while
Mhm.
as well, while I was going to school. Um, and I was on my way of trying to um, become a physician's assistant. He was a quiet person, very alone, used to read comic books all the time.
Mhm.
I became friends with him. We used to talk about, I don't know, school, art, um, stuff like that. He used to, I had quit the job because I felt like it was unfair.
Mm.
And I had found a job like, I would have to say like 30 blocks away at a private pool.
Mm.
Um, and he used to come and visit me. I used to work the evening shift. He was working the morning shift. He would go to work at like 6. I wouldn't come into work until 5 p.m.
Mm.
at night and work for 5 hours, and he would just show up.
Yeah.
So, um, it started out innocent and became a friendship. I didn't know, I didn't know it would lead to what it has become now. People used to in my life did not like us together.
Mhm.
They told me that he was very um unfriendly.
Mm.
He used to isolate himself. He wouldn't say hello. They used the word antisocial.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
I, as you could say, I was very young, naive,
We
and
all were. We all were. Everything you just said reminded me of me.
I I always believed that people would treat me the way I wanted, like they wanted to be treated, just like I wanted to be treated. Um, and even now, I refuse to like um be spiteful or try to take out that negative feelings. Um, I, I judge people by individuals and their behavior. I always say my attitude is how your behavior
Yeah.
is on me, so it adjusts accordingly. Um, right now I work at the hospital in New York, New York Health and Hospital.
Mhm.
Um, I work in mother baby,
Oh,
PICU, peds, NICU, and labor and delivery.
God bless you.
Um,
I never liked that area.
uh, it sounds weird, but I love doing it. I
Mhm.
love taking care of other people.
Yeah.
I love taking care of people in general.
Mhm.
It's been like that since I was a child. Scope in my field, but I do love it.
Well,
Um,
you sound real seasoned.
yes,
Y-
I'm probably a little bit more than uh I also teach swimming. Um, four schools. I taught my children to swim at a
Hmm.
young age. My son actually could swim before he could walk. Mm, very good at it.
Yeah.
I always joke and I say, it's something I don't think about. Daughter and my son were my salt and my pepper.
Uh-huh.
Their personalities are very opposite.
Hmm.
My daughter's like a night owl, and my son was always like, get up at the crack of dawn. Um, so, and my daughter was a little bit more distant, whereas my son is a huggy teddy bear. I actually called him my teddy bear. As
Oh.
in Spanish, it's mi oso. Um, I used to call her my doll, mi muñeca, um, and him my teddy bear. They were always with me for years. I put them in any program, every program that I won.
Did your ex resent that you put them through all these classes? Did he ever?
Um, his family didn't acted like I was wasting my time. They didn't. One of his sisters once said to me, "Why are you doing that? Like, you didn't. If
Mm.
you didn't get all of that stuff as a child, why they don't need it?" Like, um, and I responded like, "You're supposed to try to make your children better." And she, at the time, she had a daughter herself. Um,
Mhm.
and I responded, "You're supposed to make your child better than yourself. Then that's how you know you succeeded."
Right.
As if that they supersede you. And so throughout this course, um, my ex, after I had broken up with him, I wasn't trying to see anybody. I was trying to work and deal with my mom's stroke
Mm.
and my dad's cancer. I I don't know, I guess God helped me because um I didn't fall apart.
Hmm.
I wasn't crying. Half the time I was just trying to keep up with everything besides for their schedules.
Hmm.
My daughter was in high school at this point, and my son in middle school, and COVID had just started.
No.
Um, I originally was accepted to a surgical medical program,
Hmm.
and I had to stop doing it because of my dad being sick.
Oh.
And um, which I fought, and I had to take an exam and to find and I had to save up, and it was just
Mm.
I ended up giving the money for rent,
Yeah.
um,
Mm.
to not be evicted because I didn't want the idea of my kids ever being homeless
Right.
was horrifying. Uh, so I refused to be with him. After he begged me to just say I would give him a chance. And eventually I said I'd give him a chance, but I never agreed to be with him.
Hmm.
And then that's when I started getting text messages. Um, and I didn't know who it was texting me. My phone started making weird noises, a pinging noise.
Hmm.
At the time, I did not know what it was. I um, kept telling him about it, and he kept saying it's fine, like it's nothing. Um, this would happen for a course of a year and a half. He would fight and argue with me. We were fighting throughout the whole time.
Mm.
He kept trying to take me out or go places all of a sudden. Um, Before the whole swinger thing, there was at a point also that I saw things going downhill. I started telling him if you weren't going to spend time with me, um, that we should separate
Hmm.
because it was just basically the kids that ever spend time with together. I basically ran the kid's schedule, and he would just come home to work and go back. And there were occasions that he did spend time with us, but it was more like he would come to the park with us. He would play basketball and we'd be in the park
Mm-hmm.
doing other stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, all of a sudden, after we broke up, he started telling me he wanted to do more with the kids, which was odd. And he was trying to argue with me, but at the time, because I was working so much, and because of my father and because of my mom, I agreed.
Mm.
Um, oh, I missed the main part that I should have said.
That's okay.
So, years prior to this, when he was cheating on me, um, there was another woman at a point where we did separate, and I did see somebody else during that separation. Um, and I did get pregnant with my son,
Mm-hmm.
and he is not his biological father.
Okay.
So that's another thing. My son's biological father is actually a military soldier,
Mm-hmm.
an honorary military. He's been served in Iraq. Um he's been serving for over 24 years syndrome.
Yeah, PTSD. Yeah.
Um yeah. So he we agreed that I should be the person to raise my son.
Mm-hmm.
Um at a point I did take him to court because he wasn't agreeing, because I was like, I want you to at least know him, because I believe that, you know, um, even if parents don't get along,
Mm-hmm.
the child shouldn't suffer to not know their family unless it's like dangerous or something.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't deny children their rights to be able to love their parents or siblings or their family. um Adults will always argue and not get along, and that's fine. You can agree to disagree,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but a child is innocent. They shouldn't be punished for you guys not liking each other.
Right.
um so I'm gonna go back forward.
Okay.
Uh, and so when my dad got really bad, um I was trying to upgrade. I had gotten my pool operation uh license, and there was a guy trying to pursue me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in some ways I let him talk to me, and I did talk to him a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't at that time trying to pursue anybody.
Right.
I was already going, I would, like I said, God basically like saved my feelings. So I I I guess I was looking for friendship,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't just him. It was more like friendship in general. There were like my best friend I was reaching out to and stuff like that, because I was, it's weird. I was in pain, but it was so much that I think it was numb.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to describe that, because I guess I couldn't deal with it so much
Mm-hmm.
that it literally like it just went numb. Like I didn't let myself be sad, because I felt like I had to be there for my father, for my mom, and for my kids. Um, and trying to juggle it all, I was exhausted constantly. Um, I had at that time I was um sounds crazy now because I say the hours and I'm like I don't think I don't think anybody could fathom how crazy it was for me, because I was working anywhere from 75 to 90 hours a week.
Oh,
Um, I was working 3 jobs.
wow.
And um I went from running to lack of sleep,
Mhm.
um, to trying to cook and clean and oh, that was a lot of things that I had to do. So it
Right.
wasn't just the kids. He took the responsibility of sometimes trying to pick up the kids.
Hmm.
Um, there were times even when we were together when he was supposed to pick up my son or my daughter
Hmm.
and it was snowing outside. Now you have to think I'm a swimming instructor and I'm in the water
Hmm.
and he forgot.
Mm.
And I would have to run out soaking wet. And I mean soaking wet that he's now left my son um at school and uh and I'm sopping wet and my hair would freeze. And it was more than once. And my legs would freeze, and I'm in flip-flops and I'm dripping, like the water is dripping out of my hair. And he is nowhere to be found.
Mm.
And I would have to drag my son back to my lesson, and then I'd have to finish my hours. And I would start at 8 in the morning, and I wouldn't finish until 8 at night. And I usually did not have a break.
Mm.
So, um, not that it was the job's fault. It was me booking lessons, but it was also because I was trying to change my financial situation.
Hmm.
And I did not share, I regret it now because I did not share with my family what I was going through.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't tell my brothers, I didn't tell my sisters.
Hmm.
Um, I was constantly trying to just deal with it myself. I felt like because my parents were sick and that it was already enough emotionally for them to deal with it. Um, and it was it was crazy because I was also trying to support my son in swimming because he is a really great swimmer. He made silvers in the Junior Olympics
Wow.
um at the age of 10.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Uh,
I do appreciate that, but he loves it. He
mm.
loves swimming. Um, which unfortunately I do not get to help teach him anymore.
Oh.
Um, I do not get to go to his competitions. I didn't even get to help him pick the team that he is on, and he is not doing as well as he used to. Um, so, and I do not blame him. I'm very proud of him, no matter what he does. And I've told him like that. Uh, both my kids used to say, like, Mom, what if I fail this test? And I remember telling them, like, you know what? If you feel like you're gonna fail and you're that scared, I was like, fail completely. And they go, what? I'm like, write your name backwards.
Right.
Like, write your name backwards. I'm like, guess what? I'm still gonna love you. I'm
Right.
still gonna be here for you. It's just an exam and we'll figure it out.
Right.
And there were times like, my daughter um literally did not pass a grade. And I would like argue with the school
Hmm.
because I knew she could do the work and or like she just freaked. And I had the same thing happen with my son on occasion. I think it was 2 times. And I would argue with the school
Hmm.
and make them give at the beginning of the year an exam to see what they knew.
Hmm.
And they ended up being in the grade that they were supposed to be
Right.
appropriate for their age. So um I did advocate for them in school a lot. He's not doing so well in school right now.
Mm.
Um, and this is a constant thing that goes on, even now to this day.
And
Um,
and the judge, Judge Katz, doesn't seem to care that he's he's failing in school.
No, he, uh, the last day of trial, he said, I would not change any orders because, that until his final decision.
Which is never coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
So my, when my ex filed for the case in his verified petition, uh, he lied on the paperwork. Um, he stated that he took care of the kids, that he took them to school, that he took them to medicals. He basically did everything for them. He
mm,
said I was a party goer, that I was
oh,
sporadic, erratic.
mhm.
Um, he tried to say that I wasn't doing anything for it. I could read it. He basically, the words he said was, "Be the respondent's behavior has been a strife, unpredictable, and sometimes frightening." This is from the exact word
Right.
paperwork. Um, he writes that he believes the child's best interest would be served better to have stability and constance with the petitioner. The problem is my ex still, right now, he's still, for back pay rent that he had, it's a stabilized rent apartment, by the way.
Mhm.
He didn't pay 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah. And this has been going back and forth to be eviction. The apartment is under his mother's name. Um, she does own a home too. That's another thing.
mhm,
Uh, his mom has has uh has been on Medicaid
mhm,
for uh when she owns a home, which is illegal.
mhm,
Uh, she she has lied. She has lied to get food stamps. She has lied, um, basically done fraud, um, throughout for years. Um, Even to get her sons into school, she tried to say that she wasn't married, to the church and um to the school, so that the her sons could get sponsors, because they got sent to a private Catholic school,
mhm,
so
mm,
she wouldn't have to pay. He had lied and on his verified petition and said my son went to schools that he never attended, and gave addresses and schools that he never attended. Um, and I put this in the trial to show that what he had done. And all of a sudden, it became that. And I asked him about
mhm,
medical appointments, and I asked him about insurance, and I asked him about um, after school programs and prices, and how many times he took even the kids swimming.
mhm, mhm,
And by the time my son was 10, my ex had only gone to a pool with my kids probably 6 times before my son just started getting like his awards for swimming. He also is not on the my son's birth certificate. Um, this is where it gets even a little bit crazier. So because this case filed as um is not filed as it's filed as a estoppel case, because it is a child custody case, which is actually illegal in New York City.
mm,
So and even if he were to was supposed to be granted something, it would have been considered visitation.
Mhm. So they're running
Um,
it as an estoppel case.
yes,
I wonder why they're doing that.
because my ex knew he was not my son's biological father.
But
We were never married.
mhm,
My son
yeah,
um has mine and his last name, but only because I wanted my daughter's last name to match
right.
my son's. Um, uh, he with the birth certificate, I had agreed with my first lawyer to not fight about that. So because originally my son's biological father came to the courts and the judge threw him out. He refused to allow him to have any rights, refused him to allowed to have be part of the case. He also put out a petition. The judge put out a petition saying my son is not allowed to talk to him or his half sibling. He has four brothers and
Mm,
a half sister that he is not allowed to see.
jeez.
And this is what the judge placed in an order. I am technically violating a court order because I'm supposed to not be on social media about the case.
Mhm.
But at this point, um, I have nowhere to turn.
Yeah.
Um, I originally was paying a lot of lawyer fees. I couldn't afford it.
Hmm.
They assigned me a lawyer, the next lawyer for who refused to basically who didn't file was saying he was filing papers with the courts and then didn't file them. And I didn't find out until later. Um and he basically was lying and he tried to file papers for my ex's mother with me
Mm.
concerning the apartment. He wrote out papers for her. Um and when I found out about this, I literally got rid of him immediately
Mhm.
and um ended up getting another lawyer who I ended up losing my right to see my son because they did an emergency visit without my permission.
Mm.
He went and represented me. Um, and he tried to say that gotta find the court order.
So your lawyer torpedoed your case.
Yes.
Oh,
He he I ended up filing I ended up filing with the courts to have a court visitation with ACS, CFS. That's what it is.
mhm,
CFS. With social workers. They
mhm,
were all very kind. Oh, and why this is going on, he's still when we did have 50-50 custody, he was still calling ACS on me. He
mhm.
was still harassing me with police. Every time the kids would come to my house, the police would come after. He did um right at he had filed why my father was dying, this case. Um he ran off in the beginning of before I knew he even filed. We were living together. He did not serve me. He was He had control of my email and was deleting the messages. He was the pinging on my phone. He
Mm-hmm.
was stalking me. He was having other people send me messages, um, horrible messages, telling me basically they would do stuff to me,
Mm-hmm.
physical harm and physical, belittling me, harassing me. Um, and I figured out it was him when I tried to make the police report. He was also doing it to our daughter. Um, she had gotten one of the messages and he showed me it. And what was weird was they had stolen a picture of me from my phone, um, and sent it to her.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to say it was different people. He was saying that it was the guy I was seeing, which I wasn't seeing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did end up seeing him later. Um, I knew it was him because I tried to file a police report and he deleted all the messages. In anybody's right mind, if you know anybody you love,
Mm-hmm.
anybody is being harassed, threatened, telling, um, anytime I was going out, I would get these text messages. Um, and I knew it was him because I went to the DA office. I had gone to the police station and they sent me to the one of the DA officers and he said, whoever it is, it's your last ex. And
Mm-hmm.
I had saved because I got one message. And the only reason I got one message was because I didn't leave it in my texts. I left I had taken a screenshot and it ended up in my photos. And he didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
The DA officer went and said it's whoever you last person you split up with is the one who's stalking you. And he's like, that's 99.98%.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at that point I didn't know what to do. I I didn't know how to get out. My everything was crazy and I was trying to figure it out. And this was before he ran off with the kids. He ran off, decided the week after my father died. I was going to the gym to train for lifeguarding for work. And he there were like little odd things that he was doing with the kids. Every time we fought, he kept trying to tell them that they had to pick between us. And he would get upset when they would say they wanted to be with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he also he would do little things like try to tell the kids not to betray him. He was constantly telling my daughter that she couldn't leave her brother to protect her brother.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what are you talking about? Who says that to a child? You do not say to your protector from who?
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I would say. Um, he kept all of a sudden trying to participate with the kids more, trying to do homework, or which I couldn't get him to do for years. And I mean, homework when you're in pre-K is their name.
Mm-hmm.
And he would cheat and write it for them.
Oh.
And we would have arguments. Um, he spent most of his time on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
He and there were times I found him on the computer that I was upset about because um he was watching stuff that was highly inappropriate and had photos that were highly inappropriate on the computer constant. And this is who he was. And this is when I wanted his affection. he was busy watching these instead of coming to me.
Hmm.
And when
Hmm.
you're in a relationship that does affect you as a partner,
Hmm.
no matter what, there's no way anybody would feel okay with somebody choosing that kind of stuff over
Hmm.
you, the actual physical being.
Right.
And he did that constantly.
So, Tanith, there's an issue with this birth certificate. What did the judge do with that? What happened?
Okay, so the judge asked if at the time I had a lawyer, and she told me not to fight it, asked if
Oh,
I would allow to have him sign because my son has no father on his birth certificate. And at the time I agreed, I was trying to
mhm.
um work with him. We even had a mediator, and the mediator told me that he would me get that he would never work with me. That he
Mhm.
was refusing to co-parent. That he would only let me see my son on his birthday and Mother's Day.
This is terrible because, he's not even the father.
The judge went and granted him the order, and that was in 2020.
Hmm.
And the birth certificate place is across the street from the Supreme Court. He literally has to cross the street.
Hmm.
And it is now 2026, and he never went to sign the birth certificate. And he tried to blame it on the judge and said that the judge messed up on the order and asked for a new one after the closing arguments over trial when I mentioned that till this day he never signed it.
Oh, he wants to have his cake and eat it too and blame the judge.
Yeah.
But then the judge is holding all this up in the air. Why is he not holding him in contempt for not signing or just stop this?
Well, what I've seen is that the judge gets along with his lawyer really well.
Ah,
And the system basically what I've seen and I've learned is that the judges make the court cases go longer
mm-hmm.
and to extend them so that the basically the clients have to pay the lawyers, and then when the judges have dinners, they pay for these extravagant dinners,
Mm-hmm.
and the money goes to the judge, and this pays for their election to
Yes, it
get
does.
reelected in court. And this is the endless cycle. And I always say, um, I describe it in two ways. I say we're entering a poker table that they've been playing for over 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you are don't know how to play poker.
Right,
And
right.
you're basically getting to see them bluff and take your money and get hustled. And or you're thrown as a guppy in a shark tank and you're getting to swim around in a little tiny pool, and they're circling you, taking turns at what they're going to take from you, how many
And how
scales
much?
or fins, and
Mm-hmm.
until you sink to the bottom.
That's well described. That's exactly what they do to you in there and drag these cases out. Well, I mean, I know we're going to have another follow-up podcast. And is there any advice that you would like to give someone upon entering a case like this?
um I hope people understand that no matter your differences as parents,
Hmm.
do yourself a favor, don't go to court. And the reason I say that, get go to counseling, even if find a mediator that actually wants to help you, that help have like that you both trust, to make a
Hmm.
final decision. I tried doing that. We did pick out one person and he refused.
Mm.
Um, as
Hmm.
parents don't go to court because what they do is they just want to take your wallet.
Yeah,
They want to take your money. They do not give it to your child. They do not look at the best interest. They don't care if your child gets educational neglect, medical neglect, or physically abused.
exactly.
Your child becomes a victim just like you do.
Yeah.
And this is the system we live in. And it's very unfortunate because it's not about laws or your rights or justice or morals or ethics. And children suffer the most because they don't understand what's going on and they don't know how to get away and they don't have a voice. They don't get heard. And that's not right for any child to feel like that. It's a shame.
It is. It really is. And I'm glad you spoke out on this and showed us the red flags of how all this began. And it sounds like you're working with an oppositional defiant personality disorder, among other things. I'm not a psychiatrist.
Uh, I, I put me and my children in therapy,
Hmm.
and every therapist that I've worked with and the forensic psychologist um said it was psychopathic narcissistic behavior.
Ah, yes, agree with that. Wow. Thank you for coming on. I know we're going to do a follow-up. But if anyone needs to reach Tanith Pereira, you can contact her through me at dismantlingfamilycourtcorruption.com. Tanith, don't jump off, okay? Slam the Gavel's a podcast, help the public understand what really goes on in these courtrooms. I'm your host, Maryann Petri. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube. Please like and subscribe and share. Apple iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google, and other platforms. Again, feel free to buy me a coffee to help keep this podcast going. And I thank you so much, Tanith Pereira, for speaking out. Thank you.
You're welcome.